It is Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and we are live. Welcome to V-Talks. I'm your host, Veronica Brockwell, and it is a fabulous evening here in Massachusetts. A little bit cold. It's, I think, getting down to about 22 degrees tonight, so it's a little bit chilly, but other than that, it's fabulous. So tonight we're going to talk about image. So you ever go and see that woman who is always dressed professionally, she always looks fantastic, and then you bump into her at the grocery store and she still looks fantastic, and then you see her at the PTA, she looks awesome. You see her at the gym, she still looks awesome, and you wonder, gosh, how does she get that way? Well, tonight our guest is going to talk about how she gets that way. And she's going to talk about the rest of us and how we can get that way and the importance of branding yourself and having a professional and polished image anywhere, but especially in business and in the workplace. So our guest, she is a public relations and image consultant. She's an international speaker, and she's the author of 9 books. And she is my dear friend, live from Richmond, Virginia. Please welcome Susie Galvez.
Thank you, Veronica. Oh my gosh. Great to
Hi,
see you.
Susie.
I know, as I say down south, my little tail's just a wagon.
So I think people are gonna notice that over time in this conversation, I will probably start to say y'all. Because I'm a Yankee right now, and I've been a Yankee for a little bit of time, but I wasn't always. So can you tell everyone how we know each other?
Oh my gosh. I was going to make something up and say that we met at a halfway house from a prison. But I thought that's how
Possibly.
we made license plates, you know.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
no, we both, Richmond, we both had businesses here. I had a day spa here, and you also had a business called Soak. And I thought we were definitely compatible. You know, it's a girl's thing. You know, you have to have peeps behind you and be able to share business and all that. So I reached out to you. You were so sweet and responded back to me, and the rest is history. That's eons ago.
Yes, and one of the things that we did, projects we did together, was your skincare line called Hello Beautiful, and I remember we took that skincare line to, I think it was at LA, Los Angeles, when I was doing trade shows,
Right.
and I think we took that skincare line to LA, which was really fabulous. But anyway, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your journey?
I will. I appreciate the opportunity. Veronica was very sweet. I came up with a 4-piece professional at-home peel skincare kit, and she was sweet enough to carry it at her store, and she was also doing some repping, so she was able to carry it to LA. But we had such fun. Remember at the store we had the cocktails and the grand opening and all of that, so it was a lot of fun. And I so appreciate that. My journey.
Yes.
It's like one of those long
extensive. Pretty fabulous, though. I think
started,
people want to hear about it because you're pretty cool. You're a pretty cool lady.
Thank you. It started actually when I was 8 years old. I know people don't believe that, but it really did. And you know, as I say in some of my presentations, what you usually as women and what you love to do at 8 years old, you'll still love to do in some form as an adult, whether it's reading or drawing, you know, horseback riding like you do, all of those type of things. You know, it's just putting on lipstick. But I don't know if mine is real, you know, or was it out of necessity? My mom didn't see well, and this was the 60s, so it wasn't like they wear as much as they do now. But she did resemble Tammy Faye Baker, if anybody's old enough to remember that. It was just a big mistake. So I was 2 years older than my brother. He's 6 and I'm 8. But when we would go to school or PTA and stuff, my mother was real involved in the Brownies and the Girl Scouts and, you know, baseball and Cub Scouts. Some of the kids would make fun of my mom just because she did look kind of garish. So I decided I'd take it upon myself and try to figure this whole thing out. And I swear to you, it's 100% by osmosis, because there's no way in this world an 8-year-old standing on a dining room chair or a bathroom commode could have figured out the stuff I did. And so it turned out, as we know about, different seasons, all those beauty things with the scarves and stuff. My mother was a natural redhead. That's only 6% of the whole world. The rest of us, all the people that, well, yeah, most of the people that we know are cool. And so my mom, her people that she, was, influenced by, my aunts and her friends were cool. And so she would wear the pink on her cheek. She would wear the red on her lips, all of those things. And it just was scary. So I learned little bit by putting the peach on her cheeks and the coral on her lips and a little bit of the green or brown eyeshadow. She looked gorgeous. And so that turned out to be, little did I know, a lifelong career for me. For my mom, I did her makeup every event. If I was in the state of Georgia, I did her makeup every day. I mean, every time that I was there, or she was in Texas or whatever. So, yeah. So fast forward, I got my first job. Before I went to college, and they asked me if I wanted to, which department did I want to work in? Did I want to work in housewares or did I want to work in cosmetics? Well, hello. I don't know. A crock pot had more than two settings off or on. So I thought, it's better for me to be in cosmetics. And it was wonderful. It was just wonderful. And still to this day, if I'm out and about and there's a cosmetic center somewhere, a counter, I go by and just, they won't let you touch the stuff anymore. But I would go by and smell and just take it all in. That's something that's never left me. So I was able to work my way through college as a makeup artist. So that was very handy. And my education's in creative writing. I did that for a couple of different reasons. You didn't have to spell. And this was before spell check was really big. And so I just got to be creative. But little did I know that when I finished school and I got my first job, I was in training. So I was a director of training for 2 different companies. But that had nothing to do with creative. That was all like participants say, answer. I mean, it was just very dry. But it did teach me discipline and it did teach me, those type of things. But even though I was on an airplane every single week for 4 long years, sometimes 2 cities, because you can't get there from Richmond without changing planes. Excuse me. So I made at least 100, takeoff and landings. So anyway, what kept my sanity, because I was just caught. I could not leave. They paid me very well. It was stressful. So I started reading books, and I read a book every single week. So I read 50 books a year, and they were all on business and lifestyle and how to and all of those things. And I thought, I've got to figure out a way to jump out of this airplane, land safely, and do my own business. And so,
And you were an esthetician, right?
not at that
Yeah.
time. Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
so after I went to school to be an esthetician before I bought my business, but I was still in the corporate world. But what kept me sane was my friends would say, and we lived in different places here in Richmond, up in Philadelphia. It was no matter where, and they would say, Susie, I know that you've just got to be beat dead, but you know what? I've got a big date on Saturday night. Can you show me how to do my makeup? Or I've got a great job interview on Monday. Can you show me how to dress? It got so much that I would keep my toolbox, my beauty tools, by the front door in case somebody called. That was my stress relief from this job that I had. I just loved it. And so I was getting a facial when one of my employees had given me a beautiful facial spa kit. And I'm laying there listening to the music and, the smells of the candles and the whole like ambiance of the whole thing. And I thought, this is it. I'm going to do this. And believe it or not, it was the determining factor to push me forward for this was Princess Diana's death.
Oh.
It was over Labor Day weekend, and we happened to be down by the Chesapeake Bay. And I remember thinking, I can't keep doing this. I want to do something that fulfills me and that I know that I can bring joy and be useful to other people. So even though that was Labor Day, I exited on a March 8th, which happens to be International Women's Day, went to aesthetic school, and then ended up moving back to Richmond, which I dearly love. It's not I'm going to grow old and die here, and bought a day spa.
Yep.
That's the, condensed, believe it or not, version.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah, it was fun. It was challenging, but I knew I couldn't. The only thing I could afford was kind of a has been business. I mean, that was what I did for corporates, is turn businesses around for them. And I thought, surely to heck, I can turn it around for me. So that's what I did.
And then shortly after that, you started writing books, right?
I sure did.
Yep. And what were the names of your books? Or some of them? There's so many, you might not remember them all.
Well, they're on my bookshelf.
There were so many. I didn't even ask you. Do you have any out there running around?
They're still on Amazon. Yeah. The first book. Well, what I decided to do when I bought the spas, I thought, okay, I'm no spring chicken. I was in my late 40s, so anyway, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this methodically. I'm going to start writing for the trade magazines to become an expert, in the field, because they have trade magazines and they have to put stuff in it. And then I'm going to start speaking, and then I'm going to, those sort of things. So my first book was called Inspirations, INSPARATIONS, and it was how I turned this losing spa over 18 months from bleeding cash, like $25,000 bleeding in the first 2 weeks, and turned it into a 7-figure business. And I thought, I can share that with other people.
Oh, yeah. Very valuable information.
Yeah, thank you. And the book's still around. So that got me on the circuit to speaking at international spa conventions. And it just kind of all happened. I feel like I lived a Forrest Gump life. I know your guest last week was about manifestation.
Law of attraction and manifestation. Incredible.
It is really incredible. I don't know why we don't do it more than that, but I thought, you know what, that's a fast way to go broke. So I started thinking, I want to write a book for consumers. And I had clients ask me all the time, Veronica, like, I love coming there, but I can't afford it. And it wouldn't necessarily be money. Sometimes it was because it was time. They'd have a wonderful spa experience, a massage or pedicure, manicure, facial, the whole 9 yards. And then they'd go home and, pick up Johnny from soccer and Debbie from ballet and all that stuff. And so all of this bliss is gone. So they wanted to know how to maintain it while they were gone or while they weren't at the spa. So my first consumer book is called Hello Beautiful, 365 Ways to Be Even More Beautiful. And I was very, very, very blessed and fortunate. It sold 59,000 copies in 7 languages. And
So
who knew? Who knew?
Congratulations. It's fantastic.
So hence the name of the skincare product was
right.
So, yeah.
And that skincare product, amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we don't do it anymore. And I was blessed to be on Home Shopping Network with that product.
Yes, you
and
were.
Veronica has a very important part about that, telling me you got a phone call out of the blue.
Well, I think it was the video. I think the video that we made
Oh my
to.
God, we got to tell that. You tell that part.
You tell it. You're a much better storyteller than me.
No, that's hilarious. Okay. So
right,
now I haven't conned Veronica into doing too many things at that point. So
whatever. But I always said yes.
Yes, you did, and I do too. I always said yes to you too.
Because
it's like, what the adventure. So I had an opportunity to do an audition tape for HSN, Home Shopping Network, and so I thought, who better than Soap, because it's lighting, she has the products, it's gorgeous, it's real girly. So I got a camera crew, we got a makeup artist who's now a chiropractor. How funny is that, Rusty? Do you know Rusty Goff is a chiropractor now? Our makeup artist for that day. But anyway, long story.
Yeah, we'll talk backstage about that. People are like, who's Rusty?
Well, anyway, so it was one of those fly by the seat of your pants situations. And so I was thinking that these guys
had a little frustrated videographer, I think.
Well, yeah. The funny thing is, I thought he was going to be real professional. You know what I mean? So he comes in with this microphone that looks like the Match Game. Those really skinny ones with a little thing on the top. He only has one. There's no microphone for me. Veronica was asking me questions. We just looked like she was handing off the microphone back and forth.
I was interviewing at a game.
Yeah. That's true. I know. It was like this. It was just so amateur.
It was so bad.
And then we started breaking out to a sweat.
It couldn't have been that bad. You got the gig.
They tried this poor thing. Let's get her out of there. But I do remember it was so funny. I think men see a side of women because there were 2 guys and then there was Rusty, and they saw us, and you just said, "My armpits are sweating." Do you remember that? You took this blow dryer.
Well, I was nervous.
I
I
know.
was nervous.
I
And so I was sweating and you could see the sweat. And I grabbed it because they were doing our hair and makeup. And remember, I took the blow dryer.
oh my God. But
Yeah.
that's what goes on in real life. Do you know
Of
what I mean?
course.
You
Of
know,
course it is.
see that.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Oh, it is
People
all.
don't understand. It's not real. Well,
No,
this is real.
obviously.
I'm praying my dog doesn't bark.
I know.
Or worse.
Okay.
Or worse.
But you know what? It is it is smoke and mirrors, but there is a lot to image. And your opening question for the lady about the perfect lady, hopefully she's not on listening to this show because
They're probably a few.
we don't need. I always
Yeah.
threaten to go up to really completely together women at the grocery store and ask them where the Campbell soup was just to see what they would do, but I haven't. So anyway, but
it is important, and I think this is a really important topic that even even though we are in COVID times, and even though our meetings now are virtual, and it is very important in business to have a professional image. I think.
absolutely, you're absolutely
Your
right. Well, I always tell my image clients because we're going to talk about something I've got coming up in a little bit. But when I'm working with an image, whether you're in a room or on a Zoom, and we're mostly on the Zoom now, but when you have got that hair that needs washing, but you didn't have time, and that time when you've got your slacks held together with a safety pin, and if it pierces, it's going to take your panties out.
You don't want to see what is the bottom of what I'm wearing right now.
Well, that's the beauty of Zoom. But
I almost think I need to show you.
Okay.
That I'm wearing Uggs.
Good.
And you wouldn't guess, right? You're like, whoa, she got it all going on.
Yes. But looking your best instead of having those days where you just feel so. It's really important, especially if I mostly deal with women entrepreneurs, that if they've got to have their act together, because you're the walking, talking business card. When you say that you're Veronica Brockwell and that you have this wonderful podcast show, they're making an evaluation on you just in those few seconds. And we talk about that. I mean, you have 7 seconds to make a first impression. Just as your viewers have made them about us, if we could see them, we would have made them about them. But it's sad. But here's within 60 seconds, people will make up to 11 different assumptions about you, and we all do it. And I explain this by, like, with one of my books. People say you can't judge a book by the cover. You have to. That's all you see. So for you to go to the bookstore, the library, wherever my books are, and you see the cover that the graphic artist has hopefully worked his magic on or her magic on, and you take that book off the shelf, which is my sincerest wish. It's just like you take your image to the person to get more. Then you turn the book around back and you read about what you're going to learn inside, and then you read about my bio. I'm hoping and praying that you're going to put that in your cart and you're going to buy it. But we don't have that opportunity with a book. When you have an image, it's just a split second evaluation, mostly based on people that you know or maybe in your past. Have you ever met somebody you knew that you could just never get close to them?
Oh, yeah.
It's your intuition, those types, but usually it'll be some characteristic, some personality, or some, whatever to make you feel that way. You can't put your hand on it, but it's going back to that, manifestation. You just know.
Yeah, and energy and all of that.
So it really does help with that. So that's part of my job. People sometimes are afraid of me. They're thinking I'm just gonna, especially at a cocktail party or whatever. They're like, "Don't look at me! Don't look at me! I didn't do my brows." I'm like, "I'm not on the clock." You know what I'm saying? But it's just a tweak here and there. And one of the favorite.
Well, and it's important too, right? To if your brand, always. So at least maybe try to keep it together.
Well,
no matter what. Right? They're like little casual, but still look pulled together, right?
Right. When I first bought the spa, and I was doing a lot of speaking, and I still do a lot of speaking, it was like all that casual Friday, and it was killing employers because casual Friday, you would go in and they would have on shorts, and that's not what casual Friday is. But anyway, that we've moved past that. But my philosophy is once you've done the very best you can, you put your best face forward, you have clothes that are fashionable, that fit, and that flatter your body style, then you've done the best you can. And that way, I explain it from a customer revenue point of view that allows you to take the emphasis off you and put it on the customer. And once you're not worried about yourself, you're 100% into that customer, and they can see that you're sincere and genuine. And that's why they want to do business with you. But you are a walking, talking business card without a doubt.
Yes. So Susie, I have some folks backstage that would love to ask you some questions. So I'm gonna bring Jenny on. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Veronica. Hi,
Hi, Jenny.
Susie.
How are you?
Hi, good. How are you all?
I'm doing great. Don't you look cool with those rocking glasses?
Well, my dog ate a little bit of it right over here. So just
We're all telling pet stories.
I know. I'm just praying the golden doodle doesn't start barking. Oh, and I've got this thing. I can't turn my settings off with this box thing I have. I put my settings off. It keeps beeping.
That's
But
all right.
I don't know. It's live. We'll work it out.
Hollywood
We'll work
dog.
it out. What is your question, Jenny? For
well, I
Susie?
have a question. When you get to be a certain age, your lipstick starts to bleed a little bit. And I was just wondering if you had any way to prevent that from happening.
Great question, and you're right. And it can happen with some of these glosses. I've seen 18-year-olds with just like little streams of clear gloss going up their lip. But it does as our lips recede, and the more that we use our mouths or purse. I've caught myself a million times, like when I'm thinking and things, or waking up and my lips are scrunched. So that excess is creating those little lines. One of the things I suggest is that at nighttime, you shouldn't do it in the day because it will make them smear, but take a little bit of your eye cream after you put it under your eyes and just go around your lips. And that's going to help soften that area. And in the daytime, use a lip liner. They make the most fabulous lip liners now that are nude colors. You know how they used to have those ones that would be bright red and then you'd wear this white lipstick in the middle? Don't do that. Just get one that's
Don't worry.
but just a nude color, and that kind of keeps it in there. But also keeping by your nightstand just a little bit of lip gloss and sometimes Vaseline. It's an occlusive, so it's not going to penetrate, but it does keep your lips moisturized. During the nighttime.
That's good to know.
Are there any lip colors that you suggest for women that are older? Like, is darker better? Is more of a nude? Does it matter?
Some people can carry. What's her name? Picasso's daughter. But anyway, she could wear that stark red and it looked great on her. What's her name? Gwen Stefani wears bright red. But
Oh yeah, exactly. It looks fantastic.
But that's a special look, and she's has the best care too of her skin. But as we get older, our eye color fades, our hair fades, our skin loses its color. So wearing that same lipstick that you maybe did in your 20s and 30s it's just too harsh. So that everybody has a universal color. I like a brownish mauve. If you'll take a look at your thumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Your thumb is actually the color of your lips without any color on it. So before we could test them at the store. Now you can't. But if you could test them, never test them on your skin. But you can put that on there and see. But
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
That's one of the little tips. And
so
also,
right here is the color of my lips, right there. I have lipstick on, so I can't tell. But yeah, I'm going to do this after I take it off.
We all will.
Great little tips, I know. But and also, I'm not a fan of matte lipsticks. To me, they're drying looking, even though they have updated them and hydrated them and all that. I just feel like they age a woman. So, but also on the other end of that, super shiny glossy. Leave that to the kids. I mean, that's just, if you remember it the first time, don't revisit it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're just saying kind of just like a creamy,
hydrating, enriching lipstick. Well, the lips are one of the most sensual parts of a woman anyway. And so just having that lipstick. Hey, I want to tell you something. Can I tell you something about lips?
Yeah.
Since we came on off of Veterans Day, I want to tell you this was actually used during World War II. When so women definitely had a part with the Veterans Day, but when soldiers were injured and they were being airbacked home or whatever, and the nurses would be on the planes with them, they were taught to calm a soldier down, and then they would say, "Oh my gosh, am I dying?" or "What's wrong?" They were just panicked. The nurses were taught to bring out a compact, open the compact, get out a tube of lipstick, roll it up, put it on, and then snap it shut. Make that snap noise, and then put it back in their pocket. And what that would do for the soldier's psyche is, oh my gosh, if she's putting on lipstick, I must be okay. And they would immediately calm down. Isn't that a great story? I love that one. It's documented.
Great story.
So yeah. Anyway, but also, just pick the color that looks good on you. Jenny, what colors do you have on right now that's attractive on you right now? Is it a mauve, or is it more? It has a little bit of rust to it.
I think it has a little bit of pink maybe in it.
I like that. Very pretty and very natural.
Exactly. You look fantastic, Jenny. All right.
I have another question.
Oh, sure.
What should you do for eye puffiness? When you wake up in the morning and your eyes are kind of puffy, how do you have any remedy for that?
Train case eyes like you have on your travel bag.
Yeah.
That comes from laying down for sure. And the older that we get, and the more of our what fluids we have still left in the middle of the night will travel up. Being vertical will help a lot with that. But also there are other remedies. You can put a tea bag under your eyes, which will help with discoloration and the dark circles, but in the elevated puffiness. But one of the biggest culprits is people, when they're putting on their makeup, they'll put it right up under their eye. What that does is it just seeps right into your eyes, and that causes a puffiness because the eyes are irritated. So when you're putting on your creams, moisturizer and your eye cream, just kind of go into the well of the eye, and as the product warms up, it will migrate to where it's supposed to.
Wow, that's interesting.
Good.
Thank you.
Can I do one more?
Yes, sure.
I was telling a friend of mine today that you were going to be doing this with Veronica, and she asked me to ask you a question, which was, she has never worn blush before, and she now has transitioned to a very sheer foundation, and she was wondering should she try like cream blush or powder blush. She's a woman of an age, and what would you suggest?
Well, I actually use two. I use the cream. I call it piggybacking. I'll use the cream blush, and then I put the powder blush on top so it'll stay all day long. Because even though I love makeup, I don't carry anything with me but a lipstick and a lip liner. I mean, I'm just had it. I don't need it. But it just depends on the condition of her skin. But blush is the most misapplied product there is. You've seen those ladies at the store that look like clowns or whatever. So believe it or not, this is a trick that anybody can learn, and it's one of those odd ones. But you start here at the temple, and you go to the middle of the eye, and you comma up. It's higher than you would think your blush. You always heard that. Suck it in. Mm-hmm. Don't do that, especially over 35, because it draws your face down. But by drawing it up, it keeps the viewer's eyes up, which makes you look younger and more vibrant.
Wow, that's a good tip.
I know. I wish you could be here and do my makeup right now. But wait, I guess we can't. However, Susie feels like I'm a little bit shiny. So she mailed me. This is a true story, Jenny. She mailed me some banana powder, she calls it. Is it really, why do they call it banana powder?
It's strictly yellow. It's like the most unflattering powder that you could ever look at.
And and she's like, don't use this.
Just throw the puff out.
And then what do I do?
The bigger the brush, the less the mistake. You swirl it around. No, I don't do that. Swirl it around. There we go.
Okay.
And you think about all the money you're going to make today and how many people's lives you're going to save. And you just think beautiful thoughts.
I'm not shiny now, right?
No.
It's actually a photochromatic powder, and it's really good for selfies and zooms and all of that kind of stuff, because it actually soft focuses us.
Well, I got shiny I wasn't shiny, and now I'm shiny, so I kept it here. Thank you, Susie. I love my banana powder. That was a really nice gift.
Wash your brushes. I could see they have a little.
It's a bad scene right here. It's a bad scene.
But every 2 weeks or once a month at least, because you know what? Every time that we do anything, we're losing skin cells. So all that's going in there, and the oils and all that stuff. It's as easy as like when I finish my coffee, I'll put a couple squirts of antibacterial soap in there and put the brushes in there for just a couple of minutes. You don't want to leave them in there because that weakens the glue that holds them together. Squeeze them out, rinse them. Put them back in the coffee cup empty and let them dry up. You're done.
Love it. Thank you. Jenny, any more questions from you?
I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for spending time with us and asking those really great questions, because I think those will help our viewers, you know?
I hope
All right.
so.
All right. Thank you. You have a good night. Okay.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, that was really interesting.
Well, thank you. And, part of that, going back to the image, is it's like one and done. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like if you have to go in and carry a boatload of makeup in there, and I have done that before, I have seen clients do that. But I'll have to tell you, when I knew that I needed to make this for a living for me, I met a stranger in a New York hotel restroom, and we were both at the mirror, and she had horrible brows. I mean, they were just way overdone, like mommy dearest. And so she was applying more of it. I'm like, oh, I've got to save this woman for herself. So I said, no, I'll tell you what my husband said. But I said, you don't know me, but I said, I am in the beauty business, but could I just take down the brow that you're applying more product to and just show you the difference? She said, yes. And I cannot believe, I don't have kids, but I cannot believe I did this like your mom would do, spittle.
No, you did not.
I got that way, and she goes, "Are you fixing to spittle on me?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I was." I said, "Let's just use the water from
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So anyway, I blended it.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh my God, that's great. Can you do the other brow?" And I said, "No problem." So I knew I had to do it for a career when I would go up to strangers in the grocery store and blend their blush. My husband says, "Does anybody want to slap you?" I'm like, "I'm not." No, they usually ask for my card when I show them the before and after. But
Exactly.
So I just knew that it was completely my passion to help women be as beautiful on the outside as they feel on the inside.
Let me ask you a question, Susie. So, I talked about this a little in the opening about, the lady that always looks so pulled together, right? And even at the grocery store. So what are some tips you can give me if I'm running out the door? I want to go to the grocery store, but I still want to look pulled together a little bit, but I'm not going to put on makeup and make my hair perfect and all that, but I still want to look pulled together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
what do you suggest?
Right now, since we've become a more casual world, it's easier than it used to be. My famous trick was to put a baseball hat, really nice sunglasses and lipstick on, and just make my way to the door.
So you're saying lipstick is good?
Absolutely. Lipstick.
Like that's your go-to move.
95% of us own at least one lipstick. I'm in a lipstick rehab program. I think I probably have 100, but it's just one of those things that does it. And also just as Jenny's lady was talking about, just a little blush. You don't need all the other stuff on there. And, people expect it because we have busy lives. People have been to yoga. They've been to the gym. We're doing more and more active things. So having a lot of makeup is going to look out of place anyway. So just do what makes you look comfortable and makes you look confident. The whole thing is being confident. And as I said earlier, when you've had that one day past wet hair, needs washing, and all of those other things that take away our looks, or a blouse that doesn't fit, and you're just suffering through it because you need to lose weight, which is like me. That's what I did. I don't suffer through the clothes anymore because it's just like it ends up at the end of the day making me want to slap people. So it's not very healthy for my business. But just doing the best you can, and then taking all your emphasis off you and onto them. So it's all, and the nice thing about it is makeup should be like a sandcastle. Wash it away at the end of the night. Just, it goes away and you get another chance. So.
All right. Well, we have another viewer that would like to ask you a question. So I'm going to bring on Diane. Hi, Diane.
Hi, ladies.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
I feel like I need to wear mine. Mine are, I'm embarrassed to say, these are dollar store glasses. They reflect my light. So yeah.
At a certain age, I had to get the superpower ones. You know what I mean? So
mine are just for reading, but you all look so cute in your glasses.
Well, and you know what? That's a great thing to segue, because that is an accessory. Having, you have more than one purse, you have more than one pair of shoes. Why wouldn't you need more than one glass? It's expensive because mine are, non-glare, blah, 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 bifocals. But having a change, though, that changes your whole attitude and all that. So it's also a conversation piece for me, since I've struggled with my weight my whole life. Having things that draw your eye up, like my earrings and funky glasses and, jewelry that takes your mind off hopefully my size at this point. And that's what I teach my clients. If your body's under construction and you're losing weight, there's just accentuate the positive and eliminate the negatives like the song does. And you can do that. And so that's part of my tips. So your glasses are great, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you.
And they make you look really smart, which I'm sure you are.
Thank
I'm sure you're they do. Yeah. So Diana, you have a question for Susie.
I do. I'm in the 5% that doesn't wear lipstick or any makeup. I stopped wearing makeup a few years ago because it started. I've never worn a lot of makeup my whole life, but even just a little bit of mascara would cause great irritation. Any insight into why that started happening?
Wow. Was it the particular brand? Did you try other brands? Or
I did. So I tried more premium brands for sensitive skin, and still it wouldn't matter what brand it was. My eyes would be very sensitive, itchy, and couldn't wear it.
Did you notice any of the other things on the other parts of your face when you wore makeup, or was it just around your eyes?
No, just my eyes, but any makeup at all just began to feel very, very uncomfortable.
Got it. Well, there's several reasons for that, and one of them may be an allergy, so you could probably forgo the mascara all the way anyway. But some of the things that I ran into when I had the spa and also with my private clients is there's so many chemicals and solutions that are out there that are a part of our everyday. Right away, if someone has breakouts, breakouts, or they're flaky or scaly, I always go through a series of questions. Do you put fabric softener in your sheets and in your towels? Because if you do, that chemical that's made not to stick, that's why it's called a softener, will irritate your skin. And so that's the first thing, is never sleep on your pillowcases at least, and also your towels and washcloths. That's the first thing. Also, if you wear a lot of hair products, which we all do with some of these jazzy hairstyles, that product is on your hair, and then you're changing your position while you're sleeping. So you're rubbing it on yourself. So those are a couple of different culprits that I usually go through. And it could be that, not particularly in your case, you have maybe an allergy, but using harsh products. We were talking about, I've had clients that say they use soap and water and they wonder why their skin is so sensitive. That soap is made of a cleansing agent that's meant for the body and not for the skin. And I mean, not for
the
face.
surfactants that are in there for sure. Do you recommend too maybe using unscented or all natural laundry detergent? That could be it too, right?
Oh, yeah, I have one for sensitive skin anyway. But once in a while, a towel or a washcloth will sneak into the colors, and then I have the fabric softener in the colors, and I can tell right away as soon as I wash my face in it, boom, it flares up. So I have ultra sensitive skin, and my dermatologist said it's because all my life I've tried millions of different products, you know what I mean? So I can test them on me, because it's got to work on me before I could ever sell it or show it to my clients. So yeah. But so now how are you taking care of your skin?
With soap and water and moisturizer.
Okay, well, one of the things, and if it's working for you, but it really does over the long term cause sensitivity to other products. I don't have a skincare line that I'm touting or anything like that, but I did have this. Just if I could tell the story, I was speaking in Dallas, and I was signing books, one of my books, and this woman comes up to me and she wanted me to sign her daughter's book. Her daughter would not come out of the hotel room. They were visiting from Australia, and they'd come over to see me and this whole big crowd we were doing. And I said, well, I can't help her with her skin unless I see her. So I said, just get her to come back and I'll take her behind the screen. So she came back and she had a hat on and big sunglasses and her face was all down. Her skin was horrible. I mean, I'm just telling you like it is. It was just like, how can, no wonder, it was very scary, and it was I just wanted to cry. So I asked her what she was using, and we went over her protocol. And I said, listen, it's like your stomach's upset from Mexican food. That's the only analogy I could think of. But I said, you need a blend diet for your skin. This is just it. And so I recommended a couple different products, and it's Cetaphil, the Cetaphil, the gentle cleanser. And that just, it's very, very like mashed potatoes for your upset stomach. It's just great. And then a non-scented, as Veronica was saying, and also just a basic moisturizer. So the long story short, 6 months later, I was in Chicago, and she and her mother came over to see me in Chicago. And no, that's the part I was signing books. The first time I was just speaking. So I was signing books, and I was, looking up and, smiling and then writing their names down, autographing them. And I recognized the accent, and I said, "Oh, you're from Australia." And she said, "Yes." She said, "I remember you." I said, "I remember you." And she says, "Where's your daughter?" And her daughter was right there, and she had the most gorgeous skin. I started crying. She started crying. And you just know, I mean, a woman's skin, which is the only part that's never covered, do you know what I mean, means so much. And I was so happy that the advice had worked for her. So that's why I do it.
Amazing.
What is your take on mineral cosmetics? The pure minerals.
Are very good because they don't penetrate into the skin. They're a great occlusive sunblock. Absolutely. So there's some things, with collagen and some of those things that never used to penetrate the skin. Now they've micro encapsulated it. But think about this. We don't know exactly what goes into the skin. I took a course at UCLA the year I bought my business because I didn't want any product that anybody else had. I wanted to know in the back of it what the ingredients were, and you did this too probably, Veronica, but just in what order, because that tells you the potency of the product.
Exactly, yeah.
I learned more things in that course than I never ever thought I would learn again. We don't know everything that penetrates the skin. We know more things penetrate the skin than we thought. Think about the stop smoking patch or the blood pressure or the hormone.
It's the largest organ on our body, and we're just putting all kinds of stuff on it, and it's absorbing.
More and more. So we've got to be 100% extra careful with that.
Absolutely. And I feel like, breakouts and things like that are definitely trying to tell you, hey, we don't like that. Use something different.
Yeah. And sometimes it's when you go through like on my diet, you go through a physical detox, where you're losing things, you're purging your skin out, your skin will react by saying, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm dry as dust, and the only little part that will ever have a little boo-boo there, I get so excited when it does because that means I have oil, but it's right there.
And I'm the opposite. Like I'm sitting here with my banana powder.
Anyway, did that answer?
And I have banana powder that Susie sent me, and I'm like been doing this because she says I'm shiny. Well, tell me. You got to tell me. What is it good now?
Yeah, it is. Less is more. Don't overpack your face. But
okay. Yeah, I don't know.
You can only do that with a good friend when you can say, "Listen, you're going to thank me for this when I give you this." So.
She's like, "You're too shiny. Let me send you some banana powder."
Diane, do you have another question?
Well, I'm just curious. So if somebody is like me and they've had sensitivities, does that mean no makeup ever? Or is that what you help clients with one-to-one, figuring out exactly what they need for them?
Yes, absolutely. And in your case, I can tell that less is more. You're kind of a artsy type. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but you're sort of from what I can see, kind of a t-shirt girl, and just kind of like.
I think your skin is beautiful. I've been, you look really nice. I mean, you don't have any makeup on.
Thank you.
Really, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as we get old, how old are you, Mama? Us asking?
I'm 48.
Incredible.
She's older than you.
That's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
But, as we age, as you notice, it's just like with collagen and elastin. We've heard a lot about that. Good way to think about it is when we get older and our skin starts sagging, it's because the collagen and elastin has started breaking down. If you think of collagen, like the bricks on a brick wall, and then you speak of the elastin, like the mortar that holds the bricks together, the more that we can keep that elastin intact, the more, upscale our skin will be. So, yeah.
And what is the suggestion for that, Susie? Is there something we can do topically for that?
I'm a big serum fan. I really am. I think they have come a long, long way, and they really are designed for sensitive skin. Diane, I'd be happy to do a one-on-one consultation with you, and then we can go into the detail of it and just kind of see your regime and that kind of stuff. So absolutely, but it's working for you now, but now is the time to do the preventive. Do you know what I mean? And just so you can keep that youthful skin, but it doesn't take a boatload. Usually what I'll suggest for clients is a cleanser, a serum, which was called the tweet, the treating part of it, and then a moisture. And the moisture what keeps your good in and the bad out. In this case, if you wore makeup, the purpose of a moisturizer is to keep your skin barrier, so you don't, the makeup doesn't go in your pores. Sorry.
Very fascinating.
Diane, do you have anything else for Susie?
I don't. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming on the show and asking these questions. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, ladies.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. She's darling.
I know. I can't believe she's 48.
You know, it's always those people when they say soap and water, I just want to smack them. And then then their skin is just showing the opposite. So she's obviously drinking the water and all those things. And as a matter of fact, Good Housekeeping interviewed me, and they asked me what my number one beauty tip was. And I think it shocked them when I said water. I said, that's it. I said, it's just like when it doesn't rain and then it rains, the water can't get into the ground because it's all dry. So if we hydrate our skin from the inside, then the good products that we've paid a lot of money for will be able to penetrate further and make a difference. So water is the number one.
That makes perfect sense. And it's good for not only your skin, it's good for everything.
Everything, your whole body. I mean, I forgot what the percentage of water we are, but you can tell. And, if you've ever gone a couple of days without it, then you're just like, your skin shows it. I'm having a little trouble with it right now because I'm talking a lot, so I'm drinking the water, but yeah.
Yeah. So Susie, we were talking a little bit earlier, and you have something exciting to talk about. You have a Get Noticed free 5-day challenge. Can you talk about that and tell us what is all that about? Obviously, Get Noticed. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm happy to share. In the quest that we were talking about, image, how important that is. Also, business presence. It's a 50-50 relationship, because your walking, talking image is going to determine who does business with you. And if they like you, know you, and trust you, they'll take a look at your business. So your business has to portray exactly who you are: confident, caring, all of those things. If it's not genuine, it's easy to find out. On the other hand, if they see your business, whether it's online, in person, in home, most of us are doing things at home, and the image of the business is not congruent with your personal image, this is a mismatch. And so what we try to do, and what I have done with the Get Noticed Challenge, is combine both of them. So it's going to start December the 2nd, which is a Wednesday, about a half an hour, and it's 5 days long. But what we're going to do is talk about the importance of image, and then talking about the importance of business. One of the things, when we were talking about my spa earlier, that I suffered through, because I had no money after all of these things happened with the spa. Within 2 weeks, the pedicure jets, the washer, the dryer, the hot water heater, the whole telephone system. So I had a $25,000 set aside for type advertising and that kind of stuff. It vanished in 2 weeks in order to keep my spa open. So I thought, I've got to scramble real quick and get some free publicity if it's going to happen. So that's exactly what I did. And you have to put some things together before you can just go out and, do that kind of stuff. But once you get your systems in place, getting the free publicity is much easier than you think. So I'm going to combine both image and the business presence and getting publicity over the next 5 days. We're going to have fun. We're going to tweak our chic. We're going to, just do some wonderful, fun things to help women entrepreneurs grow their business, and so they can earn the money they deserve and enjoy the opportunity to help more people. Because when money is not an issue, you can go up to strangers and blend their blush. I mean, you just are that passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those things, you know your purpose. And so that's what I'm going to put together.
Well, yeah, because I think, we're obviously both entrepreneurs. And I think, a lot of times, especially when you first start your business, you make decisions based upon economics sometimes, not based upon what you know to do. So I think we've all been there.
I'm sure that you can we both had brick and mortar businesses. And
yeah.
But I bet you cleaned the bathroom at your office more than once. You know what I mean? That's what we all had to do. We all had to put on our rubber gloves and say, you know what? We got to save money somewhere. So yeah, absolutely. And you can't be too proud.
Susie, I had a situation at one of my stores in Carytown. I don't think I've ever publicly talked about this. but I was having an event on the first floor. Because remember, it was 2 floors,
Right.
and the bathroom was on the second floor. And I don't know what was wrong with that bathroom, but like if the girls, the toilet would run, and we were having, it was like a luau event or whatever. And all of a sudden, all this water, the toilet overflowed. One of the girls, overflowed. And all this water started coming through the ceiling on the customers.
So much for your glamour boutique you had. That's horrible.
Well, the building was old, So when you talk about cleaning up that for the, yeah.
But you know what? It makes us better, and I think people are attracted because we are genuine. You have no idea. Just to tell you a little funny story. The name of my latest book is called "You Were So Gonna Thank Me for This."
Yeah.
The title is totally based on a true story that happened to me. I was in my famous airplane, thing, and I was changing planes from Detroit to come home to Richmond. And I had about 40 minutes. And so I said, I'll go to the bathroom and I'll go to the little store and get some water and some magazines and just, kind of putz around the stores and stuff. So I, did that whole thing, went out and they had some unsweetened tea at the Starbucks. So I got some unsweetened tea and I'm heading back and they have moving sidewalks. So no sooner, swear to you, I got on a moving sidewalk and this total stranger, never saw her before in my life, comes up and right in my left ear says, "Girlfriend, you are so going to thank me for this." And then she pulled the entire back of my dress out of my pantyhose.
Oh, no.
I can't even thank her. She was gone. I'm like, "Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Angel." And then I still get chills. The whole reality of the situation hit in, and I'm like, "Dear God in heaven." I knew people behind had seen. And so I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So, just anyway, I called one of my friends and because I was just mortified. And she said, "Well, at least you were out of town." So I thought that was funny. But then it just continued on. I thought right then I'm going to make it my business to fix beauty blunders when I can. Only fix them when you can. If the situation is hopeless, you can't tell somebody that looks like they've been run over how gorgeous they are. But it's your obligation as a woman to help another woman through a mess like that.
Oh my goodness. Well, one of the things we just got a little, glitchy there.
My husband's from Panama, so he talks like Ricky Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to finish the story by saying, Tino, my husband, is from Panama. So there, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's getting a little glitchy.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Well, the end of the story was,
I can hear you now.
I told my husband about the story. I told my husband about the story, and he said the most prolific thing. He said in his little Spanish accent, "Didn't you feel a breeze?" And if the entire dress of your pantyhose was back there, I should have felt a little wind, but I didn't. So yes, check yourself in the before mirror and the front mirror, and check yourself in the back.
And I do have to say, I don't want to give away everything from your challenge, but I would imagine you're going to talk about this. I had a little situation that I resolved. Even me, I get lazy about certain things. And I had an outdated headshot profile picture that was 15 years old. And what did you say? You said you don't want your headshot to look like your daughter.
Like if you're at a speaking engagement and you have a planner meeting you, the worst thing that can happen is like, is your daughter coming? And it's like, oh. You know what I mean?
That was my younger self. I rocked out back then. Yeah. So I actually, in the spirit of you, I even had an updated headshot. I just hadn't loaded it up. I had, just COVID, lazy, whatever. I was like, I still kind of look like that. It looks like me. My hair was red.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also,
so I fixed it.
Oh, I saw your new headshot on Facebook. It's great. In my case, it's always going to be, my headshot depends on when I get this weight off. Well, obviously, it's not going to happen, and I certainly didn't want to, so we'll make new ones. It's only fun. We'll make new ones when we do that. So yeah.
Well, you look amazing, and I'm so grateful that you've been on the show. I want everyone to really take a look. There's going to be a link. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page, on my personal page, and on B Media Consultancy's Facebook page on Susie's Get Noticed 5-day challenge. It is free. There is no reason not to sign up. It's free. You can't get more free than that. And you will get so much information. Trust me when I tell you, I have known Susie, I don't know, 20 years. And I can promise you, she has more tips and tricks and things that can help you get noticed personally, professionally. She definitely is a PR machine. She's been in numerous magazines, TV. I mean, my gosh, so many things. And you taught me so much.
Thank you.
In our journey together, you know? And so really, if you have the time, please at least click on the link and see if it's something you want to do, because it's free and you will get so much out of it. And it does not matter that we are on our computer every day, going to the office. You still need to look professional from the waist up.
Especially now, I know.
But you want to stand out. You still, we're still working. We still want to get promoted. We still want to be, viewed upon in a professional manner. It's very important. And not everybody's doing that, but the ones that do.
There's a whole study about it. If we had more time, I would tell you about it, but it is critical. I mean, employer, you make a first impression, and we all do. So you've evaluated candidates when you're thinking about or people that you want to work with. And so you know what you're looking for. And most of it is confidence, uniqueness. There could be 1,000 people that are doing this podcast show like you're doing right now, but the difference is Veronica. And that's what makes you unique. And that's what we all need to do, is bring out our uniqueness, our sassiness, our savvy. The rest is gravy.
Exactly. Susie, you're going in and out. But we're done anyway. So it's all good. Thank you so much for doing this. It was wonderful seeing you. I'm grateful. I'm actually grateful for the opportunity to do this show, because we've been, hunkering down in our homes. And I don't know that I would have done it otherwise. And I've just reconnected with so many important business people in my life, and because of this. And I look forward to the future with all of you, and I think we're going to do more things together. I don't know.
You're doing a great job. You're very, very personable, and you're genuine. So thank you so much for having me, Veronica.
All right. Thank you so much, Susie. It was great to see you. And yes, so I'm going to send you off.
Wash your brush.
Oh, I'll wash my brush.
Thanks again.
I know. All right. Bye-bye, honey. So thank you again for tuning into V-Talks. We will be back next Tuesday night with another guest. You actually met her tonight. Her name is Diane Joyner, and she will be here next Tuesday at 7:00 Eastern Time. And please go to my Facebook page at B Media Consultancy, and you will see this podcast and a link to Susie Galvez's 5-day challenge. And then we will also start marketing Diane Joyner's podcast for next week. So until then, thank you. Bye-bye.